only podcast about gate automation and gate tech's life. Your host, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, via Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, the one and only Michael Brooks. And your second host, Mr. DJ Evers, one of the kings of gate automation. Robert
Oh,
Evers, all the way from North Carolina, and another great episode of Two Smooth Operators. Warm welcome to another great episode of Two Smooth Operators, a recap on fence techs out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Thank you.
yeah. There you go, brother. I didn't know you did that.
I
That's
wanted to
custom.
surprise you.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. And if you like it, I love it, man.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the word? What's the word? What's going on, man?
Man, there's a lot going on. A lot going
Oh, is there?
on. Yes,
Tell me
sir.
about it. Talk to me.
Well, we got some fires going on in the Carolinas. It's pretty bad right now. A couple different few different forest fires that are out of control. And they're working on getting them out though, but that's what's going on in the Carolinas right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What part? You know I got Ken up there in the
Well,
northwest.
it's in South Carolina. One in Myrtle Beach area. Um, a lot of things burnt up in Myrtle Beach, and there's a few across the state for some reason, and a little bit up in North Carolina, but that much. I don't think it's anywhere near where your brother lives.
Oh yeah. What were these caused from? It's not is it dry up there?
Well, yeah, it's dry right now because it's winter, and you know it catches on fires. It'll catch on fire like anything else will.
Mm.
A
Mm.
lot of a forest fire is what it is. It's burning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well that's cool. Close to you at all?
Myrtle Beach. That's not far at all from me.
That don't mean nothing.
No.
Yeah, well, man, I've been on the road just trying to get it done. Are you been out there
Yeah.
doing service? Yeah, that's that. You were supposed to be a fence tech with me. What happened, man?
Man, I got service call I had to go on. I had to go tighten some chains and put some spray lubricant on 'em, man. I had to work.
So you was being a gate tech, huh?
Yeah, being a gate tech, man, businessman, had to work.
Well, you probably need to hire somebody.
Oh yeah, I did.
Well, what the heck is going on here?
That's my daughter Haley, and
What happened?
she's working in the office with us. And I was like, well, you can come learn how to do gate calls. Anybody can do that. So I was like, one day out the week she'll come ride with me and do some gate calls because I might send her out one day to do little tighten up chains and replace batteries or something like that.
Yeah, man. That's what I was about to say. The last time I talked to her was on the fence cruise, and
Hmm.
it was office work, office work, office work. That's what I'm gonna do, and I
Yeah.
guess not so more.
Well, no, she get a better understanding of what's going on when you're out there in the field too. So you know, so
The the place that I started out at with a guy named Travis Branson back in the late 1800s
hmm
was his wife. She was also in the industry, and the company that they were working with
hmm
was all new to her. Every parts, all that stuff was all new. And she just went back there one day, grabbed one part off the shelf, found out what it did, put it back, part off the shelf, found out what it did, and put it back. And I guess that or going out in the field like Haley's doing is probably one of the few ways to understand what's going on, especially if she's going to be on the front end of the business, right?
hmm oh yeah,
She, she's going to get that call on Thursday at 4 o'clock or Friday at 4 o'clock. Hey, I can't get out of my gate. So for
yeah,
that process to be like, okay, well, let me call Robert. She calls you. You're already doing a service call, so that means you got to call her back. You call her back. you say put up the foot pedal, and I'll be over there on Monday. And then she
Mhm.
calls the customer, and the customer doesn't answer, and then boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, you got 45 minutes of a frustrated customer. So being
Oh
able to
yeah.
understand that this is an automatic, it's got a foot pedal, or this is a CSL 24, it's got a reset switch
Mhm.
is going to be helpful to her.
Oh yeah.
What mama think about that?
Oh, she go for it. She agrees. You know what she's doing. I mean, she's learning how. She just graduated high school. We had her graduate early, in December, and I was like, before she goes to college and some stuff, and I was like, you're gonna learn how to, you're gonna work in the business and learn how to do these things, and then you got to pay for your college and stuff. So this will help pay for all stuff that she's wanting to do in life. So that's what we're doing, teaching her life lessons.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's McDonald's or whatever. The ability to go out there and understand how business works day to day
Yeah.
is always going to be helpful.
Oh
At
yeah.
the very least, it'll help you define your position in the
Hmm.
operation. Because I got a
Oh
feeling
yeah.
that there's so many guys and gals out there that think that because this guy is running a business and they don't see any of the problems. Hey, I'm working for an idiot. I could do it better than them. And it's very hard to run a business by yourself, which is probably the reason why in the first 5 years, 90% of them fail.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's correct.
So,
I
well,
mean,
that's good, man. I'm
yeah.
glad that she's out there. So you were
Hmm.
out running service calls while I was out having beer,
Oh
driving cars,
yeah.
racing
Yeah.
cars, listening to loud music, huh?
You were having fun. I weren't. I'm
Yeah.
making money though. Y'all are losing money.
Yeah, that's true, man. It does take a lot to go up there and do that, but you got to support those people that support you.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's right. I would have been able to come, but I had one of my guys that runs my cruise. He's been out of work for a couple of weeks, so I can't go nowhere. So it's kind of like that stuff's got to be put to the side, and I got to run my company. I can't just run, take off, and go somewhere right now at this moment, or it has to be planned out very well and executed very well. And so
well, I was talking to Craig Eubanks at um Fence Tech. He runs
yeah,
that. I think it's Fence Guy Friday.
Fence guy for I watch his podcast all the time, and he's pretty cool, man. He does a good job.
I was sitting there joking with him. We were, of course, joking. We weren't checking each other's financials out. I was like, boy, this, I didn't even say hi or anything. I just said, boy, this podcast business, we just raking in the money, aren't
Yeah,
we?
boy, we're millionaires, son. We're
Millionaires,
millionaires.
dude. That's it. What's up, Evan? How you doing, sir?
Oh, Evan's out there putting up some fence.
Where's Evan from? You know
I
him?
think Florida. He's the
Sounds right.
wingman dude. He's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he's that guy that sells wingman stuff for the wood fence installations.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
man, there's Rodney. Man, Rodney, I remember him and his brother, man. They were the most like you
yeah.
couldn't get them excited. Have you ever met him? I think he's got a twin brother.
I don't know. I may have. I don't know.
Well, he's up there in Nebraska or Oregon or something like that. And boy, he keeps it real chill. I saw him up there and he's into I think it was his 14th LA
Hmm.
400. And he was running into a couple of issues. I told him don't go very far with that because we'll help him out uh, if
Hmm.
uh, if he's having problems. And I didn't ask where he's buying them from or anything like that, but I just
Yeah.
told him I was just like, call us, man.
Yep.
We need to have you in the gate operator world, not in the gate operator world. And he had a similar experience that I did when came to the American Fence Association, which was, hey man, we tried to get involved, and if you're a small player in that, sometimes you don't get as much love. But I was very thankful that Tony Thornton brought me into that whole thing. But yeah, don't
Hmm.
let any one experience ruin it from getting involved with the American Fence Association, NAFTA,
No,
or Fence
no.
Workers Association.
They're all good associations, every one of them. So,
Man, you're gonna find a home someplace. Just keep
yeah,
looking.
yeah. I mean, I keep up with the American Fitness Association. I'm not a member, but I watch all their stuff they put on Facebook and keep up with it because they got a lot of interesting stuff on there.
I love to comment on that stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, well, you missed Fence Tech, and
yeah.
man, they did a good job. The hiccups, just like every expo,
Hmm.
but they did a good job. It was a full expo hall, and it was pretty good people turnout. It's always hard to judge that unless you just
Yeah,
sit there and count how many people go through.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I saw some pictures and some videos, and I mean, looked like it was a pretty good crowd and a lot of things going. I seen a lot of gate operator vendors and stuff, and I was like, man, some of that stuff that you got recorded was pretty cool that I saw.
Yeah, there was several things that I missed. Somebody had a really cool chain break. Somebody had what else was it? Somebody had a really cool thing in order. It was a little shield, but it had little slots in it and allowed you to paint just in that little slot. So if you like had a
Uh huh.
scratch on a piece of metal or something like that, you could hold that shield up to it
Mm,
and then they had paint. If anybody knows who that is, that I wanted to find out what that chain break is. Hey Rodney, if you want to come on and tell us about what you got going on and the LA 400 that you're installing, you got the LA 400 master on there. I just put the link. Anybody want to jump on? The link is actually in the comments down there on YouTube and Facebook. If anybody wants to jump on, especially if it's LA 400 related, you got to talk to Robert about it because that's primarily what you're putting in, right?
yeah, I'm doing some LA 400s. I got a few of them sold and putting them in, and we're I ain't had a problem with not one of them. I
Oh
did
yeah.
do a service call on one of them, but it weren't because of the operator. It was because they had the electrical hooked up to a water fountain, and they cut their water fountain off for like a week, and then the battery drained down, and he was like, "Come fix it." So I went and popped in two batteries and went on, took off working.
Well, speaking of LA 400, I gotta put one in with old Mister Sean King. Mark, don't go away, man, because
Yeah,
I was gonna pressure you to maybe extend your sale one more day. Mark he put out a deal, man, where they cut that thing down to the bone so we could get some gate operator signs,
yeah.
stickers, and magnets. And he was like, "Don't tell anybody past Friday. Don't tell anybody else." So we'll see if we can get Mark maybe extended one more day since
Well,
some of these people didn't get
I
to
tell
go to
you what,
Tech.
we'll get Mark on here and he'll sing us a song.
Mark, are you up to karaoke? Come
Yeah, we're
on.
gonna do some karaoke, man. Come on, come get on here so we can do some karaoke.
Hey, Mark, jump on that link. It doesn't matter whether you're on your cell phone or not. I just put that link in the bottom of the post. I'll put it on there again so you have it. 'Cause I know it's tough with these newfangled devices and everything. You got to keep in mind, man.
Hey,
Mark is
we got
getting
to
up
get
there.
him back for sending you off to them mixers. I mean, he was thinking about your best interests. But you know, he got you pretty good on them mixers.
In case you guys aren't hip to it, man, y'all need to come out to the fence cruise. There's going to be another one next year. I told him to go ahead and release it so we can all start getting the plans and all that good stuff. But Mark wasn't even cool what Mark did. As a matter of fact, it just don't get no signs from Mark, man. Just draw it on a piece of paper. Just draw it on a piece of paper and just put your dang phone number on there. He's too mean to me. No, but Mark and Mary are
Yeah, I
awesome.
love Mary.
I'm glad they went on a cruise.
It was fun hanging out with them. They were great people.
Yeah, we went all over St. Thomas with them. But yeah, if you do need fence signs, go to Mark. But more importantly, forget the fence signs. You can get those customized and all that stuff, but get the gate operator cover stickers, right? That have your name and phone number on there because that's what's going to sell.
Decals.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get those decals.
Mark, I'm
Because
gonna get them for you.
no, man, that's what's gonna sell when your customer hears that beeping on that gate operator and they walk over to that gate operator cover and that thing's been on there for 3 or 4 years. Um, it's gonna still be nice, shining, proud, standing tall, and that's what you guys need to get. So hopefully we can get old Mr. Cobb on there. But anyways, speaking of LiftMaster, a couple of things are going on with me and LiftMaster here next week. I got to put in an LA 400
What's
with
happening,
Mr.
man?
King.
So what are we going to do March
Let's
6th and 7th out in Texas?
Oh, we're
here to
going
go.
to Fenton, Texas. We're going to pound some poles.
No dig.
And we're going to put in LiftMaster Gate Operator. Well, this man is. I'm like,
I'm gonna
go
watch you.
get it. Come on, brother. Put it in.
I'm going to watch you do it so I can
I'm a
get some
pound.
tips. Susan, Sean, and I, the triple
Ryan
threat.
will be there.
Hopefully not.
If you go to misfitsacademy.com, you'll find an Eventbrite link. Text me 812-760-6845.
And how much are they going to have to spend on this class?
Zero.
$0?
$0. Homeland is going to foot the bill for all of it. Anchor B and Durham Max is going to supply the facility. What's happening?
Yeah, man. So
Yeah, that's
that's what I've
awesome.
got to go do.
Well, I mean, you'll like it, you know.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the LiftMaster LA 400. I would imagine that they've already got the brackets mounted. But
Hmm.
some of the things with the arm? Is the arm still need a little bit of an angle on it? Are you welding the brackets? Are you
I,
bolting them
I
down?
don't. I'm bolting brackets down, or just sometimes we're using the bracket that's on the post if it's like the same bracket, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. But you just drill a hole, two holes through the post, and tighten them down with a nut and a bolt. And then if you want to put a set screw in it, drill a hole, put you a big self tapping screw in it, and it'll hold it down.
Oh, you do that in addition to the holes that they already have in there?
I would, yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so in the bracket that sits on the part that's bolted to the
Mm-hmm.
hinge post,
Mm-hmm.
you put another self tapper in there?
Yeah,
Huh.
just give a little bit of secure because you know how your bolts can work loose over time, and if you got that set screw in it, it's just little extra stuff that you could do. Because I don't want to be welding all the time because you may not know how to weld, so you need to be able to do it without welding.
But
So that's
that's
the way I
fair
look
enough.
at it.
That's fair enough. How would you say that 60, 75, 80, 90% of fencers know how to weld? Is it common?
Mm, well, the good ones can weld, and
Mhm.
then the other ones can't. So I would say I would bring it down to 50%.
Hey, if one of you guys out there is doing fence and gates, I would be curious what y'all's opinion. Are y'all doing, or do you find that most of your competitors can weld as far as most of the crews? Can you weld? And what do you think that percentage actually is? But yeah, so I'll be out in Texas next um, next Thursday and Friday with Mr. Sean King and Mr. Fence Academy, and we are going to. They're doing a no dig sponsored by Homeland Vinyl. I'm not a big fence guy, so I'm probably just going to hang out. Susan Worley, who is the executive director of Fence Workers Association. She'll
Hmm.
be there as well too, and I'll be there Friday doing gate operator tips and tricks on the LA 400. I've done my fair share of 500, so I'm pretty confident that I know the board because it's just a
Oh
little
yeah,
resistor is the difference.
I don't use resistors.
Well, it's got like a little LA 500 harness and the LA 400 harness, right?
Yeah, it's simple. It's pretty self explanatory. You just open the box up, hook your wires up. They're color coded. You only hooking up a single gate operator or dual. You know, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
single.
so it's color coded. You just run your wire in there, color code, put your photo eye up, and that sucker's ready to go.
Um, 400. Are you setting the limits on the board? Are you setting the
Yeah,
limits at the gate operator?
on the board.
So just same procedure, hit both
Yeah,
of them,
we
run it.
have it in motor one. You hit the two buttons and it'll flash, and then you put it in the position you want in the open position. You hit the button, then you push the move the gate button, move the gate where you want it closed, and hit the close button. That's it. And then run it about 3 or 4 times.
Now
To
you had said the other day when we were working with a whole new gate. I saw him. I think it's Devin, right? Devin was his first
yeah,
name. A whole new
hmm
gate. He. I saw him at Fence Tech, and the only thing that we said it to each other was "whole new gate, baby." He said "whole new gate" and walked on. But yeah, when you were talking to him about setting the limits, you had said that hey, get it in the middle of the opening, and then go ahead and use
yeah.
your arrows to get it to the close, set the close,
Well,
and then set the
the
open. Why do you do that?
that's safety. You put your gate in the middle, and then you that way you know if you're pushing it, you know which
Okay.
direction it's going in without having maybe you got a brick column and then the gate and the motor jams up on something the post and then you got to go and break it loose and
Okay.
move it out. Because I've done that before. So you always put it in the middle. That's the safe way. That's the way I was taught how to do it.
So on a Lipmaster LA 400, you can get it to where it has so much pressure on there, you got to do something to it.
Well, that's just if that was to happen in a different scenario. I'm not saying that's what happens, but if you had it jammed up and you pushed the gate in the wrong direction and it jammed up, yeah, you'll have to break it loose. If it, jammed up, whatever. But you put it in the middle, you move it in the direction you want it to go and set the limits. That's the best way to do it.
Well, our fellow guest the other day, Anthony from California, he said San Diego Fence has a welder on every truck, maybe two of 12 guys who cannot weld at all, and two out of the 12 weld well. Laugh out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I by no means am I not saying continue with your skills and continue to try to progress on your mechanical, electronic, electrical, and welding skills. But we're not doing structural things where people are standing on them or
Yeah.
there's load bearing, 10 floors above it. So in welding for gate operators. You get the right welder, you get the right penetration. Your welds can be off just a tad bit here or there.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is you can always grind it down and start
Yeah.
over.
And you don't
Uh,
have to weld a whole bunch. When I weld, I want to be if somebody hits something, I want to be able to take a hammer and knock it off. Break it loose so I can just go back and weld it again. Not just like if I just wanted to grind it. Well, I didn't have to take a lot of effort to grinding it off. And then hitting it with a hammer, it comes off easy instead of welding something slam up and you can't get it off hardly. You know, that I don't want to be in them predicaments. That's why I bolt stuff on now. I used to weld everything, but after going back fixing it and grinding it, I'm like, I don't want to weld no more. I don't want to weld no more. I'm tired of welding. So I just bolt stuff down and put a tack on it.
well, you bring up from a service standpoint, you bring up a good point because the way one of the guys I look up to as far as the welding stuff goes said, we were doing a repair and it was welded all around, and he was just like, whoever did this, hates service.
Yeah.
However, for
Mhm.
guys like me that I'm welding 5/16, sometimes 3/8, and sometimes thicker than that, where I have to chamfer down the edges because my welder is only rated up to 3/16. I got to chamfer down the edges, put a fat weld on it, and then try to weld it all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any problems doing that for 1/4 inch and 5/16, as long as I can get it all the way around. But that's the way that I have to do it in order to make sure that that holds, especially when you're talking about those front and back brackets, which apparently are now
Mm-hmm.
on the Door King 6006. Have you put any of those in?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of those. Those are good operators.
Well, we got training. I'm here at the Bench University offices
Mm-hmm.
right now. We got training for that tomorrow, so
Awesome.
I'm putting together their package. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're going to do a 6006, 9150, and if we get time, we're going to hook it up to an 1837 and trigger it, with a 4-digit
Mm-hmm.
pin, and then I'll let
Yeah.
those guys delete it out,
Yeah.
put it back in, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
So,
I like the 6006 model. It's built very well. Matter of fact, it's one of the best built actuator arms that's out there. Um, I got them on a couple gates, and they're great. Nice cabinet. It's a long cabinet kind of, and got a loop detector rack and all that stuff, and then Door King's got their own keep receiver and stuff too. So
well, that's the one that Justin and Roy were asking me which one did I get. They were kind enough to donate it to the Finch University, doorking.com for all your Door King needs.
Door
Hey, I
King.
have Door King. But they were kind enough to donate it to Finch University because they are really pro education. As a matter of fact, it's quite possible that they do some of the best ongoing education.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll find it here in a second, just so I don't make a bunch of noise on the microphone. They've got their new telephone entry. They're coming
Mm-hmm.
out that are all updated, modern Wi-Fi, cellular, all that stuff. They just now started doing training for it, so I'll show you that flyer here in a second.
Okay, cool.
Um, but yeah, they asked which one I had, and he goes, "Is it short housing or a big housing?" I said, "It's pretty big," and he said, "Well, that means it's got outlets on the bottom and it's got the receiver already in it." And sure enough, I opened it today, and it does.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I did know is that it actually comes with the photo eye too.
Yes,
So
it does come with a photo eye.
so this will
Yeah.
be the first time that I actually put a Door King photo eye in. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What else we got over here? Yeah. Mark was giving me a hard time. They're decals or foam backed aluminum decals. All right, whatever, man. So
FBA.
they have FBA. They stick to stuff. That's what stickers are. I guess you don't call tape stickers, but anyways, it sticks to stuff. But yeah, getting back to Fence Tech, it was a good turnout. As usual, American Fence Association puts on a good show.
Oh
I
yeah.
know that they were having some private meetings for UL or ASTM rather. I would be interested if anybody attended those. What was discussed? I'd be interested in knowing the conversation. I also be interested in have it open to the public, uh, and have be able to give feedback and stuff like that.
Well, why don't you join?
Well, isn't that the interesting thing? You know, it's like you gotta anybody can change it. That's what one dude said from UL or
Nah,
from
man. They got to
ASTM.
vote on. There's
Yeah,
processes they go through.
yeah, and then
Have
he
to.
and then he and then he says he says anybody can change it. All you have to do is become a member and get enough people on your side to actually put it on the docket, and then
Yeah.
they've got to vote on it and so on. So anyways, long and the short of it is people like me, I'm not a code guy, I'm not a laws guy, I'm not a rules guy. Y'all got plenty of classes out there for that, but that don't mean
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of the conversation. So
Well, you know, like we had somebody on last week. What was his name? Ken, the last one. So
Martin,
yeah, Martin.
yeah,
Sorry, can't remember his
sorry,
name.
man.
But Martin. Sorry, Martin. Anyway, you can be a part of this stuff if you want to join it, and then Like in North Carolina, it's not a law; it's a suggestion.
Right.
And and like I said, you got different classes. You got one, two, three, four, five classes of gate operators, and so whatever class that gate operator's in, you do what they recommend, and then you got to relay that to the customer. And then the customer will be like, I don't want this and I don't want that. Then you highlight what he doesn't want in there or she don't want to pay for, and you move on.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I'd be the last one to tell you that's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, because I'm not a code or logs guys. There's
Mhm.
plenty of people out there that do it. So why would I try to compete with guys that are literally in the meetings, going to each one of these? So for the most part, my classes are about installing gate operators safer. They're not
Yeah.
about turning you into a lawyer. So, and that's the way
Yeah.
you have to do it. That's the only way you're going to make gates safer is to train
Well,
technicians, not.
anybody can be a internet lawyer.
You're looking at one right here.
Yeah, you're a good one, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm all that man. I ain't one, but I play one on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had that going on. The show was really well run. I didn't get to see any of the American Fence Association guys that I know of. So there was no talking to them about trying to find out what's going on with these laws that they're pushing
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But I saw some of the videos they put out. They seemed like they were pretty excited with the attendance. I heard 4,500 registered. I don't know what that means as far as attended, but
Yeah.
uh, but Wednesday was busy and Thursday morning was busy, and
Yeah.
we left before Friday. But they had the regular podcast guys.
And
No gate operator, no gate operator podcast,
well, maybe
nor
they'll
invited on.
maybe they'll help us out one day. But Joe Everest and Dan Wheeler, I saw them too on the podcast, and then I saw Joe Everest with I guess the president, the Reed guy for
Yeah,
AFA. I watched that one, I think yesterday or something. Anyways, I keep up with Joe Everest too, so um, it was great.
Joe Everest
Um,
was a nice guy. He was cordial.
oh
And
yeah,
I can't remember what his podcast is or his show because he does a lot of YouTube videos. Really got a great YouTube channel.
oh
I,
yeah, he has. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah,
yeah, he does a good quality job. I know there's a third party that he has involved, and they do quality work, and
yeah.
that just uh, oh, here, Mark. So he does quality work. Mark was saying that Friday was dead. Everyone went home. I always wondered about that because they only do like a 2 or 3 hour show on Friday, the exhibit halls. So, anyways, anybody got any feedback or want to jump on and tell us about their experience at the Finch show? Um, the link's down there on the bottom. Just jump on with your camera and we'll
Yep.
we'll talk about it.
Mark, if you got a song request one.
Did Mark do
Well,
any karaoke on the fence cruise?
we're gonna get him to do karaoke tonight.
I only do one song and one song only, and that's Ice Ice Baby. But yeah, so it'd be nice to have Gate Tech's opinion on there. We
Yeah.
asked
Well,
for press passes, but we did not
yeah.
get them. We were
Well, we
denied.
weren't. I want to be more prepared too, and
Yeah, it was close to what we were going to do because the International Building Show goes on at the same time. I think almost every year, and
mhm,
I mean, you got Door King there, you got
yeah.
Liftmaster there, and so on and so forth. There's a whole bunch of those things that
Well,
cross over.
yeah, yeah.
So, and it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes away, so you can't beat Las Vegas. But
But they
yeah, go ahead.
the first podcast that I watched was when Joe Everest, Dan Wheeler, and I think the Memphis fence guy were in this kind of igloo thing. Man, that thing was cool. I was like, they should have done the rest of the podcast stuff in that igloo because it sounded good in there. And I was that was pretty cool, man. I was like, that would be awesome to do the podcast in there, man. I don't know if it was in a separate location. I think it was because I think they had like um a party or something. That igloo was in that party thing or something. whatever different room.
I think that was the kickoff party. So maybe that's what that was in an acoustic dome. But I was laughing about it just because it looked weird. Um,
Yeah, I
but
liked it.
yeah, um, yeah. I wish them the best with their podcast. Hopefully, Finch Tech and the Finch Show will get smart and allow us to be the official gate operator podcast because we about that gate operator life. But
Yeah,
you know,
maybe
yeah,
they'll hire DJ Evers too to do some music for them.
man, we'll talk to him. I'll start it out right now. So, Mark's coming. But anyways, I uh I think they had a good show. It was well produced. There was a couple of hiccups just like anything else, but I was really just focused on going to all the gate ones. So I did a lot of videos. Liftmaster has a new arm coming out. Have you seen
All
that? A
right,
Barry arm? Have you
I
seen
have
it?
seen some of the stuff, but I haven't seen it. So I'm ready to
What
watch. Let's
Vinsec
do it.
2025
All right,
was
let's check it out. So first of all, I'm gonna let this play, but I just wanted to stop real quick and say, first of all, thanks to Tony. I can't pronounce his last name. I pronounce it wrong every time, but he was the kindest, sweetest person. He always has been. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to do this. And I appreciate the access control guys and Sarah. She's the product manager for the Barrier Arms. I can't remember. I edited this one just like I edited the other ones. So you might only get 30 seconds here, but when you go over to Two Smooth Operators on YouTube, that's where we'll put the full length videos, edited videos out. But yeah, this was Sarah Liftmaster. She's a product specialist. She says she's already got the Barrier Arms locked up, so she might be moving to another project. So let's listen to see what
Liftmaster,
Sarah
and
had to
she
say about that
is
Barrier
showing
Arm.
us
Yeah.
the new barrier arm.
The front of the hood here, it is the Tecna.
Can I see the screen light up?
Now this is just insane. This is
Yeah,
almost like a
so
small TV.
You have your open and your close when you're in the
Wow.
main menu. You also have a stop function. Once you enter the main menu, you can hold to get to the top. So you have English, French, and Spanish. And we have a maintenance log. It'll store up to 50 locally, and it'll tell you the cycle, the error code number, and if you go to help, there's a QR code that'll pop up and take you to the support site. The drive system also looks a little different. So instead of the brushed motor with the belt, we now have a brushless DC motor. Where possible, I try to use existing parts. This is
God.
your loop wrap.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compete with that old Mega Arm tower. Did you ever use that one?
All the time. I worked on one yesterday.
That's
Two
the
of them.
only. That was my go-to. I mean, I always look for different ones, but that was the only one that I know I could go put four of them in tomorrow if I picked them up, and it would be a
Yeah.
done deal. And they were just so easy to install. But there were a couple of tricks, but they fixed some of that stuff on this one. But the new, you see this control board? I don't know if it's in this video or not. They said that's something similar to what they're trying on some of the other boards.
Oh, they're
So we
probably
might.
going to start because their boards are kind of like old school. So, and this board that right here kind of reminds me of the automatic board, kind of, or the maximum boards that they got out there. So it kind of looks similar to that. They got a
Yeah,
cover over them, don't they?
yeah, this one it's toolless on the side, so you don't need to screw anything down. It's just all by pressure. But
Mm,
again, I think they miss it. And this is what my opinion to Sarah was, and she was interested in hearing my opinion. But the deal's already done. The product's
oh
already
yeah,
made.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I still go back to if you're going to have an LED indicator that tells you what's going on, have it close to the input or next to the
yeah.
input of what it
Mm-hmm.
is. And then
Yeah,
I like the old school LEDs. These surface mount LEDs, they're hard to see sometimes. But
yeah,
if you notice, this is a full color screen. It's
yeah.
full color. It's not touchscreen, but it's a full color screen, so it's
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit more detailed than
yeah.
those the ones that you'll find on a
Two
maximum
auxiliary
like
relays and then two
Oh
additional
yeah.
auxiliary relays.
it's the same board. It's the same expansion board as the
Auxiliary relay
sliders and
local to
swingers.
the
Yeah, the LA 400, 600, 500.
Yeah, with that expansion board.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the same. But she also pointed out you can run it without that, and I didn't know that. I never could get that confirmed. Do you ever unplug that expansion board in the LA 400 or 500?
It don't come with an expansion board when you buy it stock.
Oh, okay. I
You have
thought
to
a
get that
five.
separately.
Oh, thought a 500 did. I guess it doesn't. All
I'm
right,
not for sure on the 500. I want to say you have to make sure it's in there. I think so. I think you got to make sure you have that expansion board
okay.
because you don't have to have loops um for the LA 500 to operate or the LA 400, so they don't have to put them
The
in there.
flexibility for different types of setups so that you have enough so that you can wire it in a SAM system and wire any additional accessories that you need.
I'm not familiar with breakaway arms that break away like that and still stay connected. Could you show us how that works on this?
There's two options for breakaway method. This is mounted in swing away. You need to make sure that you have adequate clearance for that. When you pop this back in place, there's going to be a 5-second delay for someone to physically get out of the way. We are going to be shipping segmented arms. You will order the arm length that you need. It is now functional length, which is from the end of the operator out into the lane versus doing the physical length of the arm to make it easier to order. You'll have an aluminum extrusion that you slide on the end, and then you have 8 fasteners. And what that's going to do is create a really stable bond.
So no more counterweights.
No more counterweight, no more shear pin.
Show me the thing for us technicians that we absolutely love when you guys do.
Yes.
This is the best version I've ever seen y'all do it.
Full wiring diagram, and then we have all of the diagnostic codes and the initial troubleshooting steps. So all the engineers working on this have done a really excellent
That's awesome.
job. And
Love it.
It's everything. Look, I mean, it's everything. I'll go back to it real quick.
Because I don't like carrying a book. You know what I mean? I just want to look at that cover right there and just read it and go on.
Yeah, I think more manufacturers should do something like that, and this is an example of it. And I was joking around with her. I'm not sure if it'll make it in the final video, but I was joking around with her. It's a whole lot better than y'all sticking them to the side of the housing because they'll get caught into the gears and all that. Of course, in here, I don't think there's much to get caught on, but when they tape them to the inside of the housing, you put the cover back on, it could easily get caught in a pulley or something like that, which I've had happen. But yeah, this one is not only the diagnostic codes. I believe it also has the wiring diagram.
This is the best version I've ever seen y'all do it.
full wiring diagram, and then we have all of the diagnostic codes and the initial troubleshooting steps. So all the engineers working on this have done a really excellent job, and I think there's a lot of practical things that hopefully, continue the positive legacy of the MAT, but make this a true LiftMaster.
Well, I got to tell you again, thanks to everybody at LiftMaster for letting me do that video. I know sometimes I've given a hard time about the LA 500, and you've really opened my eyes to the LA 400, and you not have any problems with it. But I think environment has a big part to do with it as well, too.
Yeah. It's all about how you install it because you got to be dot all your I's and T's, make sure everything's working right, and it'll work. But if you put it on something that the wind's blowing on, like the LA 400, you got some wind blowing on it, it's too heavy, you might have issues with it. So
Yeah, that's the problem is people were wanting these on LA 500 with a metal frame for wood, board on board, top cap trim, and all that, all the fixings, and you just can't do that. Even with the maglock, I would be concerned. But you were saying you put a maglock on yours, right?
yeah,
And you're running just the wire on the outside of the frame,
yeah.
to fit the customer's needs.
That's for the residential low end where
Gotcha.
it's fast and easy.
Well, again, thanks to LiftMaster for letting us do that. I know these big corporations, stuff like that, sometimes it's not easy. But Tony was just like, get the video done, and we
Thank
got
you,
the video
Tony.
done. Yeah, thanks, Tony. He's always been such a good guy, man. I'm telling you, like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have this. Like, this is my go-to thing. I've got this in my pocket every single day. It puts out super duper power for my GoPro and all that stuff.
Cool.
And he just sent it to me. He told me the other day. He just texted me randomly. He was just like, "Hey man, I got to send some stuff to you. Where am I supposed to send it?" So I mean, you just can't beat that. So, anyways, especially like I said, new product, big corporation, blah blah blah. So thanks everybody for that. I'll get off of Liftmaster Jock now.
Yeah.
But now I got something that'll trip you out. I only did a short video of it, but I think or edit for us, but I think I did like a 3 or 4 minute video. Tell me if you've ever seen this type of
At the
tandem kit.
Comunello booth. This is a tandem kit. What it's doing is turning a wheel that is inside that so it knows where it's supposed to be. And this drive gear then spins this tandem. There's no additional equipment whatsoever. Brushes this gear off. The one thing I would be concerned about with is how low that is to the at the Comunello.
Sorry about
This
that.
tandem. There's no additional equipment whatsoever. Brushes this gear off. The one thing I would be concerned about with is how low that is to the ground.
Oh, that's actually how long I edited the video. There was
Yeah.
some other stuff but anyways, if you take a look at this kit, you'll notice there's no chain. It
Yeah.
is just the gearing on the track, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
really unique. You don't see that at all. It's got a gear on that one track that's on the back, and then that
Mm-hmm.
gear turns what would be your V groove wheel, which
Mm-hmm.
is attached to that gear in the middle.
Mm.
So you kind of see it in that picture right there. But that's what the track looks like. And the gear that you put on there has a slot that fixes that. And then on the other side of it, it has a drive gear. Now, what's cool about it is there's no chain. It's a
Yeah.
rack. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was pretty interesting the way they did it. As far as looks go, I mean, the looks you just can't beat.
Yeah.
But Comunella, I think it's an Italian company, if I remember correctly, and the guys that I was in their booth, they're an exclusive distributor of it. But if you guys go to Tooth Smooth Operators on YouTube, you'll be able to find more of those um, because I just didn't want to do the full length videos on here, and then they'd have no reason to go to YouTube channel. But you'll be able to go to YouTube at Two Smooth Gate Operators. You can see it on the bottom of your screen right there.
At
Now, here's one
Tiltaway.
thing.
Make
You
sure
ever
you guys
see
go to
these
the
gates?
JC Guri booth. Tomorrow, Friday, is the last day for their $999 sign package. You get 100 signs, 100 decals for your gate operator housing, and 100 magnets. This particular gate is insane.
Oh yeah. Is that AutoGate or is that a different brand?
Yeah, it's
Then
tilt away.
Tiltaway is different than AutoGate.
Yep. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, I got another video. AutoGate, they didn't want to do an interview one time, so I was just like, cool. So I don't go back to them at all.
Okay.
I
Never mind.
deal with it. But I mean, I'm sure they make a great product. Just like
Yeah.
anything, they're good
Oh
people
yeah.
there. That's it. But sometimes you
Mhm.
have corporations that don't want to do it. I get it.
Oh well.
Um, Yeah, oh well, on to the next. But there was another manufacturer. First of all, the tilt-away guys are just as cool as you can be.
Okay.
I mean, they were just so cool. I hung out with them the night after, or the night before this, and man, they were really hyped about their product, and they love it. And the guys that own it are down to earth. But yeah, there's I want to say that I saw 4 different manufacturers there that had these gates. Have you ever installed one of these?
No, I ain't never installed one of those. Only ones I've messed with was the auto gates. That's the only
Gotcha.
ones.
And you worked on it or installed it or both?
I've just done service calls on them. I haven't installed one.
Gotcha. Yeah, they seem pretty scary when they got all that tension on all the springs and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Uh,
I had to work on one time was the springs and tighten them up a little bit.
Well, I don't know that this video shows it, but I know we talked about it in the full length video, which you can see at Two Smooth Operators on YouTube, which we should be able to get up there in the next 3 or 4 weeks. But, anyways, this one's interesting because there's not as much tension on the spring. It's just like the spring is just there for counterbalance. So it's kind of interesting. You can see a little bit of it. You can see the spring in there, and then you'll see an orange uh, uh, hose or cable that you can see kind of on the bottom right there. But the orange cable goes from one side of the spring to
Mm-hmm.
the other and then just equals, it just
Yeah.
makes it
Weather where you have
counterbalance.
snow as well as
Cool.
limited space applications. So what you do is you tell them the opening, and then they'll send you the specs for the concrete pad, and they ship this thing in built, ready to go. You hook up your 110, your loops, and your accessories. Built, ready to go. You hook up your 110, your loops, and your accessories.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
oh, that's what I was looking for. I don't have it on this computer. I check it out real quick. You seen Genie is getting into the gate operator business?
The Genie garage door stuff?
Yeah, you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. Have
They
not.
did they did a couple of interesting things. I'll get that video. I may do a couple of teasers, maybe like a wrap up or something like
Yeah.
that, and do a couple of teasers. But yeah, they're getting into the gate operator game. It was a couple of things were interesting, but one thing that was really cool is they got
Mm-hmm.
smart, and the gate operator frame down there on the bottom is slotted for where your anchors go. So when you anchor it down, you still got room to move. And
Okay.
a lot of these manufacturers just have a single half inch, or I guess it'd probably be a 9/16 hole. You put your
Yeah.
anchor in there. Once that anchor's in there, if you need to move it, you got to cut that anchor off and then hope that wherever you're going to put that anchor in again, the remnants
Yeah.
are there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's slotted and it's slotted back and forth. So if you can get it close to where you need it to be, it's got 3-inch slots in it. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know about you. What's your favorite type of release? Do you just like having an on-off button and then just pushing the gate open, or foot pedal, or
Foot
dropping
pedal
chain?
manual release is the best.
In my opinion, it is too. What they did is the exact same thing, just a little bit different twist, which is
Mm-hmm.
it's has like a little handle, has a handle with a lock on it, and then you just pull that handle. And it didn't have any tension on it, so it was hard to tell how hard it was going to be. But it's a metal handle, and you just pull it
Mm-hmm.
over about 6 inches, and that manually releases it as well as tells the control board not to open.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that goes. But check this out. This is what's interesting. It didn't seem like the numbers equaled out, but they said they have a 30. It's a 36-volt motor,
Mm.
DC motor. So I was just like, well, that means you're going to have 3 batteries, so, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, it works with 2 batteries. Excuse me.
You making me yawn. Oh yeah. All the way from Las Vegas to North Carolina to make me yawn.
I'm telling you, man, I've been on the road. As soon as I got off the cruise, went straight to California. California, here for a week, and then straight to Salt Lake. And then I got class Monday and Tuesday. I got class
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow and Tuesday, and then class. I get on a plane Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then go out to class Thursday and Friday. So
Yeah.
I've been beat up. I've only slept in my bed one
Well,
night in the last 4 weeks.
well, I've been on the road too. Got
Oh
back
yeah,
from the cruise. Did a gig in Charleston, South Carolina. Went
how'd
to
that
work.
go?
That was great. Then we did another gig up in Albemarle near Charlotte, North Carolina. Last weekend. Got this weekend off, but I worked, done service calls, and then next weekend we got another gig. So, and then the weekend after that, I got another gig with Sean King.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, before I forget, let me know. I'll get you something that you could give those guys some data to let them know that they need to think about getting into the gate and or access control world uh, fast. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, anyways, I've been on the road a lot, so I've been tired. But yeah, we got class coming up Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and that's it. So, when's the Mr. Fence thing? How far is it going to be from you?
March 13th through the 17th.
Where is it?
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
How far is that from you?
About 6 hours.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty much all that I saw, or not all that I saw, all that I had time to edit. Um, and it was a kickoff party where the dome was. Mark was saying.
Yeah.
Uh, so uh, that's all that I had the time to edit briefly. We're also limited by about 5 or 6 videos on the software that we use. But you had, I didn't get a chance to hit Viking, and I didn't get a chance to hit one other thing as well too. But I went to BFT. Josh was kind enough to give me a tour of all the stuff that they got. They got a actuator arm, hydraulic actuator arm that does 1,700 pounds. I was
Wow.
like, damn, that's a lot for an actuator arm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hydraulic.
Yeah. Yeah. We've installed one of those before. The
How did
old
it go?
about went good. I mean, it's a hydraulic arm. It works good.
Yeah, I haven't got into. I try to stay away from hydraulics just because I don't have ability to repair them out in the field. You got to either have
It's
a
not.
spare,
It's
huh?
not though. You can repair anything.
Well, yeah, you can repair anything, but you have to have a clean environment. If I dump that fluid out of there, I either have to keep it clean to where it gets no dirt or debris in there for when I put it back in, or I have to replace it with all new hydraulic fluid if I'm
Well,
going to
you
replace
get you got
the
to
gas.
replace it with all new fluid. You can't use the same fluid.
So then, how do you test it? The way you have to test it is you have to put it under a pressure test, which means that you've got to have a device that will be able to do a pressure test. And 9 times out of 10, that's a rig that you sit there, push the actuator arm all the way out, and see if it'll hold pressure. Or that, or you guess. And apparently, a lot of people in our field are guessing.
Guessing. It's just hydraulics are simple.
Okay.
One end pushes down, and the other end goes up.
Just like that. Okay. If it were that easy, so now I have to learn how
As long
valves
as you
work.
don't have no air bubbles in it, you ought to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So now I have to have hydraulic fluid for 1 or 2 gates because I don't install it. I have to know how valves work, right? And
That's
then I have to have
simple.
gasket kits. All right, if
Yeah.
you say so.
Well, you have to investigate. I mean, if you had to take one apart, you had to investigate. I'm pretty sure you go on YouTube and find a video how to do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to take the time and learn.
Yeah, I think that's the part. That's why I was joking around with Sarah at Liftmaster about. I'm just like, I'm a crotchety old man. I mean, I
I
still hand
know.
wrap loops, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it'll always be.
Well, good. You'll be out there all day long, and I'll be done. Going back, drink me a cold beer.
I remember I said, man, hey, um, you took all them Patriots out. We were on the cruise. I said, you took all them Patriots out, and now you're putting in LA 400s. And I said,
Yeah,
where did that get you?
on the cruise, baby.
On a cruise, you said. I said, well, I guess it's working out, man. If you want a cruise and they still working back home. But yeah, that was it. I don't have my Fence Tech folder pulled up, so I can't look at all the videos I got. But
Yeah,
that LiftMaster, that LiftMaster, that's right. That LiftMaster video will probably turn out to about 4 or 5. We'll do one on the arm, one
yeah,
on the control board, one
yeah.
on setting limits. That's another thing that's interesting. To set limits, you got to pull this whole thing out, turn it around, and pull it in. Sarah, the product manager, she was saying it takes her about 5 minutes to do. So I figure it would probably take me about 20 minutes to do the first 3 or 4 times.
Well, I ain't gonna say nothing yet. I kind of sound like I don't like that, but I'll watch the video whenever you put it out. So I don't like nothing you gotta take out and put in. Y'all need to do a better job. If you need to make it more friendly, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Get
But
your engineers and figure it out.
yeah,
Taking stuff
the
out, I don't like that.
I trust me, I'm not a fan of it either. I can't say that I'm actually a fan of the way that the mega arm tower was either, where you had to rewire it. where you were switching
Oh,
the
switch it
way
from
the
left to
voltage.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's common sense for electric motors.
yeah, yeah. Well, that should be easy enough, right?
Yeah,
And then if you forget it and you're installing two, you just go over to the other one and look at how it is, and just do the opposite.
yeah.
But
And then the limit on it, you just had that little yellow um dial, whatever you call it, and you adjusted it wherever you want it to, and it's magnetized.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, the little magnetic thing that was off the gear reducer.
Yeah.
Which,
Hmm.
man, when you first start messing with that, you never really trust it, but it works. I
And
mean,
then you had to turn the if you had it backwards or had it messed up, you had to turn the all the way around, make sure Yeah, I've been through all that.
yeah, which is why when it's your first time, you set
Yeah.
the limits up without the arm, right?
Well, you always do it without the arm. Don't try to do it with the arm on, please.
Yeah,
Get it close to where it looks like, get your level, put your level on it, get it where it's close, level, then put it on there. Get it where and when it's going up, it looks pretty much straight up. Then put your arm on there and test it out. But
yeah.
if you want to be Mr. Fast Guy, I get this done. Go try it. You'll see what find out. F around and find out. You'll find out very quick.
Well, apparently this one won't do that. It has something else that's tied into that mechanical thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm pretty sure it's a good product, and when I see the video on how to set the limit, I might like that ain't too bad, and just another learning curve you have to do. And they needed to innovate that board. They needed a new board. They needed to do something different because they can't get behind in the technology. You get behind, that's it.
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that think that that's part of it. Um, and I
It's
guess
it's a
it's more.
it's a big part of it because things are changing rapidly here in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I think if you could connect to Wi-Fi and be able to control it remotely over the internet, I think that that's really all that matters. You don't have to go crazy and put a 7 inch touchscreen LCD on your control board
Yeah.
and all of that. So I was just gonna look real quick on YouTube and see if they had any videos out yet on it. It's called the Technica or Techna. Yeah,
Techno.
it looks Techna, Techna. So yeah, all right.
See, they even trying to
They
get the
trying to, yeah,
new name, modern name. You know what I'm saying?
whatever.
Well, you got to change, man. You got to change with the times.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so, man. Well,
Oh yeah,
anyways,
yeah, you do.
well, you're right. You're right in the overall aspect, but it's really hard when it comes to training your guys.
Well,
And the
that's
biggest goal
that's
that
why you gonna keep a job. You gonna be training guys on new stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, if I didn't have to do it, that's paying them to train. I want to get paid to train. So I got to pay my guys to train them. And if you changed all your stuff from and changed how you talk about it, like some manufacturers do, all of a sudden, as opposed to credentials, you've got devices, and the
Yeah.
next thing you know, where uh, maximum sensitivity is 100%. Now it's minimum sensitivity is 100%. And all of that stuff, you're right. It's just with the times, but still it gets expensive when I got to pay those people to train. And that's not a lift master issue. That's a everybody issue. Yeah, it looks like there's if you type in Lift Master Technica on YouTube, there's two Lift Master videos, and then all security equipment has a video as well too on there. So Mark's making fun of me. So, anyways, man, that's all that I got. That's my little recap from
That was
uh
cool, man. I'm glad you got to go and spend some time down there and look and see what was going on. I wished I could have went, but it wasn't possible for me.
yeah, well we I wish you were there, man. Definitely, so I didn't have to talk to Brian all the time. But
Oh, poor Brian. You and Brian were fighting all the way there, huh?
yeah, man. He said he pulled over the truck at one point in time. He said, I got nunchucks in the back. If you want me to pull them out, you're about to get nunchucked. I don't
I
know what
can
that
I
means. I
can
don't even know
imagine.
what a nunchuck is, but I
I'd have
don't
been
want
in the back seat, like, come on, let's see it. Let's see it.
to. Oh yeah, pull out the Chinese stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, Brian's easy to get along with. We had a good time. We were cutting up the whole time up there and the whole time back. So it was pretty fun. Um, so next year, I'm gonna go ahead and put our press passes in for Fence Tech next year. So two smooth
And
operators can
they're gonna
actually
be
get a.
what in Indianapolis next year?
Ooh,
2026.
I could tell you, I just was doing the calendar
And
for
I
the
think
show.
2027 they're gonna be in Orlando. I will definitely make that one for
Yeah,
sure.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
I do
Phoenix,
too. I keep
Phoenix
up with
is
everything. Oh, Phoenix,
Phoenix,
sorry.
Phoenix is next year,
Okay.
and Orlando, Florida is the year after that.
I
Isn't that
swear
what you?
I thought they were going to Indianapolis or something.
Well, that was this year.
No, this
That
was
was.
Salt Lake.
Oh crap. Oh yeah, yeah. That's why. What I say.
You said
All right,
Phoenix.
all right. So 2026 is Indianapolis.
Uh-huh.
2027 is Arizona, and then
Yeah.
2028 is Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida.
Well,
Yeah.
I
We're
guess
going.
2028, we're just gonna stay in Florida. We're gonna do the fence cruise and then go straight to this.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, man. I need that fence cruise again, man.
I
I need
love
it.
cruises. Man, it's so just you just get on that thing, that boat, and you cruise, man, and you just go. Everything's there, you know.
Yeah, it was. Everything was there. It was a good old time. Well, hey, have you set up your Fit Social account yet?
Not yet. No,
It
I
just
haven't
it
done
just
it.
started up. Well, anyways, I paid to get us verified the gate school and two smooth operators, so we're
Yeah.
verified, ready to go. So you can start uploading stuff to that. The reason why I bring that up is because they're going to do a calendar across the board.
Hmm.
The guys, the developers, they want to get all everybody's events on there, and then you'll just have one spot where you can go check out a calendar. So we can put some of the school stuff on there, the gate
Yeah.
school stuff, and some of our consulting things, and wherever you're DJing when it's Mr.
Yeah.
Fence Academy.
Yeah, man.
All right,
I
so we need to
gotta.
put in press passes for the Fence show and press passes for Indianapolis for
Yeah.
Arizona,
Hmm.
Indianapolis
Press.
and
Yeah, man.
Indianapolis. Yeah,
We're news
we got to get
reporters
a
now.
we got to get a gate off. Did you? All right. So you said you listened to that Michael Reed and Joe Everest in any of
Yeah.
in any of the podcasts from those guys. Did you ever hear them talk about gate operators?
They talk about the classes they have available that's there. They don't really like talk about individual operators, but they talk about the education. The main thing that I got from Mr. Reed was the education part. That was his main thing that is concerned about, and I'm gonna tell you what, they do a good job on education and on the theory. I will say that because the last guy I worked with, the guy I work with now, he has it down pat what the theory and stuff is on installing operators. I'm just helping them out with the experience side and operation
Gotcha.
side and installation, the training side. So yeah, they do a good job. So
Well,
kudos
there you
for them.
go. Theory for them, hands on for me. Well,
That's
I
right.
think, and that's one of those things that people were talking about because I've always bragged about Door King's training, and I may give oh man, Mark Cobb's too much. So, anyways, that's I've always bragged about Door King's training, and I've bragged about other people's training too. I think getting in front of Mike Quattlebaum at US Automatic, getting in front of Ron Miller from Door King, and a couple of these other guys, you're gaining something that I or instructors like me will never be able to give you. So it's not. replacement of those classes when I brag about doing stuff hands on.
Yeah.
That's just to get profitable faster. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's to supplement all of those other people's trainings.
Oh yeah.
So
I think we need both. We need it all. We need it all. Everything we can get, we need. We need it. Um, it helps us be better at what we do. I mean, it's helped me a lot just watching all these YouTube videos. SWI put out a video this Saturday about gate latches and gate hinges that I will use for my employees to watch, and
right on.
you know, stuff like that. And all these other podcasts I watch them because I want to know what's going on in the fence world. I've been doing it all my life, so why not watch this stuff out here? Get involved. Y'all need to be watching this all the time. Every time a podcast come on, you need to watch it at home. You ain't doing nothing anyway. Your
Yeah.
kids can play video games.
Well, I think when you're watching, we're at an hour and 10 minutes, and we'll get off here pretty soon. But man, when you're watching something, you're just trying to find that one nugget, that person's
Oh
name,
yeah,
that contact, that piece of detail that you didn't know, that
yeah.
new product that came out. So you got to be on the hunt for it.
And
So
it's watching them other podcasts. It was like I can do that. So I said I wanted. I mean, I can do that. I want to get involved. I was kind of upset that I was like a year late watching these podcasts, and I was upset with myself because I didn't know nothing about it. I was doing my own thing, in the world. And then um, the first podcast that I saw, I was like a year late, and I was like, man, that sucks. I'm a year late, so I was a year behind. And if you're in the fencing business, small business, big business, and you're not watching this stuff, you, you're crazy because this is how you stay informed of what's going on.
yeah, and as a matter of fact, I found a new magazine at Fence Tech. Have you seen this?
What's that?
It's a new
Fence
magazine. It's
front
called
rock.
Yeah, Front
Okay.
Rock. New
Okay.
magazine that came out. This is issue number 2, February 2025. So I haven't seen it. Um, Me personally, the probably fence posts, American Fence Association puts on. I think they only do it once every 6 months or something like that, or maybe only when
Mm-hmm.
the fence tech comes
Yeah.
around. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Fence News is a great resource as well too.
Yeah.
They really are. But not only for fencing, but for gate operators as well too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because a lot of these fence podcasts, they don't they don't make an effort to talk about the gate operator stuff. I
Well,
don't know why.
it's their fencing, so that's what we're here for.
But
I'm
I
a
don't get it.
fence guy
You
too, but I'm also more of the operator. I love the gate operator side better than the fence, but I'm still a fence guy. So
you and Brian are the same cloth, man. Y'all think that
mm.
they're one and the same, and I don't. Because
Well, they
I mean,
are.
see, that's what you say, but here's what I go by. I go by what's the reality, and the reality is that anytime anybody is a fence company and they start doing gate operators, what do they call themselves? They go from Joe's Fence to Joe's Fence and Gate. So by their own definition, the defense guys don't actually consider them gate guys either, even though they put gates in all the time. It's only it's only when they automate the gates they actually call themselves a gate company. Now that's just what I've seen. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Well,
I'm wrong all the time. I'm wrong
if
about this beard, so you know.
the gate automation is you're trying to get the fencers that want to get in the gate operators, don't you?
I want fencers to be able to see that there's a new product that they can add at very, very, very low cost to the company to be able to be more
Mm-hmm.
profitable so they're not giving
Mm-hmm.
that way to subcontractors
Yeah.
or their competitors.
Yeah.
But that's also a key frustration as well too, is the fact that just like I talked about one guy at the show, there's people that are getting out of it because they're so scared that they're going to get sued. And my thought
Uh,
process is do you so first of all, nobody wants to get anybody hurt. So let's just get that out of the way before they cut this up and say, "Oh, this is what Robert and Brooks are saying." I throw you in there that way in case I get in trouble. I could have
I ain't
you in
worried
there.
about it. This is the internet, baby.
Yeah, there you go. So, anyways, I'm like, you're telling me that you're putting a gate operator into somebody's house. You're following the manufacturer's instructions. You're a quality
Mm-hmm.
gate builder, quality
Mm-hmm.
fence builder,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to do quality gate installs.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that's more liability than if you put a 15,000 pound bobcat and a cement mixer and put all that stuff on a trailer and drive down the highway. I'm telling you, you're just coming out of your yard with 5 trucks. You're taking more liability than actually
Mm-hmm.
putting in a gate operator. So don't let that scare
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind there is an easy way to install
Well,
gates safer.
you can get sued for putting a fence up. I mean, you can get sued for anything. Most likely, you'll get sued for somebody working for you that gets hurt. That's where you're gonna get sued every
There you
time.
go, right? Isn't that true? I was working for a fence company one time. A dog bit me, and I started just asking general stuff. I wasn't going to get sued. I've had accidents like that happen all the time. I
Yeah.
get bit, something cut me in the ear at a Whataburger, and so on. My thing is if I'm 100% healed, I really don't want to go out of my way. I don't like people that sue people. It's not my
Yeah.
thing. I mean, it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
You got to sue people, whatever the case may be. But I told the lady, I was like, look, it cut my jeans. So I had to pay $45 for new jeans and it put a big old scar across my leg. I said, if as long as I'm physically okay after this, you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah.
And everybody said the only way that you're going to get anything out of it is not to sue her, is to sue the company that you work for. And if that ain't a bunch of bullshit, I don't know what the hell is. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got liability just sitting in the trucks before you go out the yard. That's where your liability is the employees that you have in your yard. So don't tell me that you're getting out of the gate operator world because of liability.
Now
Yeah,
that they're getting out because they probably don't know what they're doing and they don't know how to handle the service calls. They don't know how to handle the complaints that happens when they don't install it right. That's what's happening.
well,
They don't
so
get out of it because I'm getting sued. They're not making money.
Well, that is the case. They're tired of the Friday night phone call of oh god, they're tired of the Friday night phone call that says, "Hey, my gate operator won't close. Can you come out here?" But they're going before they get to that point. Everybody is coming to me, not everybody. A lot of people are coming to me and talking about licensing, certification, laws, rules, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I can't tell you what's going on in your city.
Here's the
So,
thing about the licenses and all that. It depends on what type of work you're doing. Most likely, they're not going to be in the industrial side where they have to have certain certifications and license, insurance, and then the residential side, lightweight commercial side. There's no really licenses to get besides a business license to work in that city. There's really
well,
a lot of them don't have this stuff. Now, if you're living in the big city areas, I'm pretty sure there is, but it's not that hard to obtain, is what I'm saying. It's not a big deal. Just get it.
well, okay. The
What's the
licensing
problem?
the license that I'm talking about is like for instance the state of Texas, right? So
Yeah.
I'll talk about that since I'm more familiar. That wasn't
Hmm.
dog. You just got numb chucked. Thank
Yeah,
you,
you got
Brian.
nunchuck, baby.
Thank you for bringing the conversation up there. There's your leader of the fence industry.
Yeah,
You fence
Brian said, "Come
here.
on, bud. You want some? Come get some."
I'll sword slash that dude. I carry a samurai sword with me everywhere I go. So anyways, let's just talk about the state of Texas real quick. State
Yeah,
of
let's go
Texas,
ahead.
to the best of my knowledge, UL and ASTM are not a law. In the city of Dallas, UL 325 is actually written into the codes. So it's fair to say that a code and a law are the same thing. It's just depending upon how they adopt it. So you
It's
could say it's in the law.
it's after
However,
the fact, though, is what that means.
Okay, so with that in mind, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, and this is why I don't teach these classes. I'm not qualified to do it, right? So,
Yeah.
anyways, but I am qualified to talk about the licensing for the state of Texas. Texas Department of Public Safety has a requirement that if you are doing automatic gate operators that can be monitored, and when they originally wrote this, they meant monitored by an alarm. Well, I shouldn't say they meant that's what they meant, but
Yeah.
that's the way everybody took it. So everybody goes, hey, no problem with me. I'm not going to, I think this was 2012. I don't have to worry about that because my gate operator can't be monitored. Now, you tell me right now, as far as remote, what gate operator can't be monitored these days? All of them can, right?
Yeah.
Every single one. So in the state of Texas, you are required to have a license. And the point that I bring up on a regular basis is licensing doesn't protect the consumer, lower the price for the consumer, ensure a quality installation, or protect the installer.
Well,
And and a lot of people are confused
mhm.
with licensing and quality,
Yeah.
licensing and safer gates, right? And
Yeah.
it's not intended to do that, and any logical person will recognize that, but that's what we're being taught in these classes is that licensing
Yeah.
will protect your business and prevent trunk slammers, and it does the exact opposite
No,
because
yeah. Yeah, because I understand, but the licensings help weed out the truck slammers. I know that, but it doesn't in the same hand because the licensings raise the prices on the products you have to
thank
use.
you.
But however, if UL 325 is not a law, it's a suggestion and a group of people that made up these safety um, device issues after the fact that somebody gets hurt and there's a lawsuit. They will use the rules in the courtroom. So it's after the fact.
Well,
Nobody's out there going out there inspecting it except in certain areas,
those certain states,
certain states. But the
Louisiana.
majority is the majority are not paying attention to nothing.
Okay, I think this is sometimes where we go down the rabbit hole. There's a difference between what is supposed to be done, written into the law, and what is actually being done. You and I are on the same page that it's not getting done, right?
No,
Like
there's
people are
places.
just going and doing whatever they want, and that's
Look,
it.
I'm
But
fixing. I got a call the other day where it was a barrier arm gate. Dude hit the keypad, and when he pulled up with the dump truck, the arm went down, hit the dump truck. They didn't have a loop up under the keypad, and so whenever he moved, the arm started coming down, and it didn't move up. And when he went over the center loop, it didn't move up fast enough, and it caught the dump truck and move it out. And the guy goes, I'm making the dump truck guy pay for it. And I was like, well, it's not his fault, really.
well,
It
I
was
mean
that's
that's
this is on the
practical,
operator here. There
it's
was no
legal.
safety loop on the outside. And see, this is what you run into. We don't He says, well, it's been working fine without the safety loop. Well, it didn't work this time, did it? So I gave him a price of putting in a new keypad. Of course, I'm getting a new keypad, and then I put in their safety loop to prevent this from happening again. And he was questioning what we've had. It's been working so many years without that. Well, I was like, well, it didn't work this past time,
Well,
and
what
now
I mean,
you
what
you
But
know
that don't have nothing to do with no code law or regulation. But I'm way out of my depth. I always start the conversation with, I don't. I could just tell you what I see, right?
that is a code. That is a code in with the UL 325 to have safety loops, ain't it?
No, loops are not affected by UL 325. UL 325, the equipment that's out there is directly related to pedestrian traffic. Loops don't
Oh,
have anything to do with it.
I thought they
So
had. I thought they had loops in there.
No, I don't think loops have that's just vehicle traffic. But anyways,
Oh,
anybody want to comment on that? Because I see we just picked up a couple viewers. Anybody want to comment? That's fine. But no, loops are for vehicle traffic only, and they don't protect pedestrians. So no, that's not part of it. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's just a practical matter. Throwing I would never rely on that loop for a closed loop by itself. I would always put a photo eye in there. Put your photo eye at 2 feet high across the drive and call it a day. Now, what I would also do with that is put a pulse or a delay on it to where, or delay on the loop rather, not on the photo eye. So
yeah.
the the loop delays about, I would probably put it about 2 seconds. So when you
Hmm.
clear that photo eye, that loop will hold once you get past the loop and go 2 seconds. But
Yeah.
sometimes, sometimes you break the loop or break the photo eye, and you break the photo eye, and the loop is gets a closed signal before that. So Frank from Torsion, did I get it right, Frank?
Thank you,
Torsion.
Frank. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, so from Torsion, actually, and by the way, hey, here's a quick. I got a video from Torsion at the show. I didn't know that they make loops. They make preform loops, but they've got some photo eye protectors, what they call vaults, that I got a video coming out
Oh,
on.
yeah, I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, but not only did they do it for the photo eyes, but they also did it for like the BEA H100, their little protector that doesn't need a photo eye, and the Optex one that doesn't need a photo eye. So Torsion has all those built, and they're pretty cool because they're slotted on the plates, so you can actually turn them and get them
Oh,
in the right spot
yeah.
without having to worry about it. But they do an Omron, and they're getting ready to do a IRB RET. So if anybody needs some protection for your photo eyes or your sensors, Frank right there at the bottom, click on him, and he's from Torsion. He'll be able to tell you. But Torsion
Awesome.
also has a pedestrian gate opener that you do not need to be Adam certified. So if you guys are actually trying to get a pedestrian gate open, that's a couple £100. I think it's below 250 pounds. They actually have a product that you could call Frank. I apologize, Frank. I can't pronounce your last name. Bacosa. I'm gonna say it's Bacosa. What's the derivation of that name? What is that? Is that Italian? So, anyways, but yeah. So check out. I'll have that video on the YouTube channel. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're talking to somebody that's not qualified. Now, the flip
Yeah,
side
me
to it,
too.
I could visually see what's going on. You got 25 years of UL and
Yeah.
having ASTM F2200 attached to it here in Nevada, and having driven around here for the last 14 months goes to show you how little influence these ASTM boards and the UL boards have
Hmm.
on the actual general public. And it's one of those things where, in my opinion, you train the technician, you'll get safer gates. If you train the
Yeah.
politician, you won't. So hopefully, there's something that somebody will come up with that'll change.
Doge.
What's that?
Doge.
Oh
Michael
yeah, I don't,
Brooks, he's a member of Doge.
is it
Dodge,
is
whatever.
Doge a good thing or bad thing?
I don't know yet. We'll find out. Right now, it's up in the air.
Is
Yeah,
it a conservative thing or liberal thing?
it's both because Elon Musk is a liberal,
Oh, I'm
and
with
you know what I'm saying.
any.
They're all liberals with their little shirts on and
Oh yeah,
their sweatpants on. You know, they're liberals, man. They ain't guys
hey,
like us.
I don't know. Either way, I'm a hippie. I'm just let everybody do their
I'm a
thing.
I'm a hippie too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, just don't use my money for anything I ain't expected to. So, anyways,
Your
yeah,
money's
no,
done been spent somewhere.
yes, it's done. Yeah, we'll get off that subject, but yeah, Frank, no problem for the shout out, man. Thanks for the last few
Yeah,
videos that you've done. I think I on Gate Industry only, I've got your YouTube one. Or your pedestrian gate one. He was at the alarm show up in Las Vegas, up here in Las Vegas, and was at the SAS booth, Southwest Automated
yeah,
Security. And he was at their booth and he had his product. So, anyways, that was the first time I met him, and he was so cool to do a video.
yeah. Hey,
Um,
man, come on the show one day. We'd love to interview you. I would love to meet you. and we'll talk about your product, man. So come on,
Yeah.
let's make it happen one day.
Yeah, do it when you got that pedestrian gate in front of you. Maybe if you go to SAS or something, Frank, maybe you could do it with that little pedestrian gate opener. It's pretty cool, man. They'll even build the gate for you. If you give them the dimensions, they'll build the gate with the operator and all that stuff. And it seems like it's a pretty simple process, but it's exterior related and it's below 250 pounds. So there's a $10,000 invoice waiting for somebody sitting there right there right now. Go get it. So
Yep.
yeah, that's it, man. That's all that I got talked about. I got class tomorrow, as y'all can see. I got to build these packets. Um, I got to move these refrigerators. I got to move these color TVs, man.
Oh yeah, you
Uh,
sound like that song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's Frank's website. Hey, Frank, if you can get it to us real quick, what's your territory? Let everybody know what your territory is, just in case they want to
Yeah,
come holler at you directly.
I'm
Um,
nationwide.
you're nationwide,
Yeah,
coast to coast, L.A. to
coast to coast,
Chicago.
L.A.
Man,
Chicago.
you got any other new intros for us?
No, but I got that new one. I love it.
Let's play the intro one more time. I think your volume was a little hot, but play it
I
one more
want it
time.
hot because I want it loud out when we.
Oh, do you?
I want.
I'll give you a thumb down if it's peaking or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the intro in case y'all missed it.
Welcome to another great episode of Two Smooth Operators, the only podcast about gate automation and gate tech's life. Your host, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, via Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, the one and only Michael Brooks.
King, baby.
And your second host, Mr. DJ Evers, one of the kings of gate automation. Robert Evers, all the way from North Carolina, and another great episode of Two Smooth Operators. Warm welcome to another great episode of Two Smooth Operators, a recap on fence techs out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Thank you. Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is
That
hot,
make you want to
man.
jump into wrestling. Where's your nunchucks at, Brian? Come on.
Yeah, Brian, you're about to get numchucked. Man, I give everybody free permission if they meet Brian Fredrickson just one time, the first time in your meeting, you can numchuck his ass anytime you
Yeah.
want,
Get
man.
them.
I had to
Yeah,
deal with
man.
that dude for 600 miles this way and 600 miles that way, and it was no fun, man. No fun at
Mm-mm.
all. Now we went and got it done. Vince, he's a rock star. He went out there and shaked hands and kissed babies all day long, and you man, he was handling his business.
Yeah.
But real quick, shout out American Fence Association. They had a well produced show. That's for damn sure. I didn't get to do any of the training. Maybe next year, if you guys are listening, maybe you could put Robert and I on as the official Gate Operator podcast. That
Damn,
way,
go on right.
that way we could get up in there and talk about gate operators and really ultimately at the end of the day, we don't need to talk about the American Fence Association. What we need to do is talk about the exhibitors. So Frank, we're gonna be able to talk about your product, man. So help us out. See if you could talk to them about getting this press pass. You too, Markov, because we was definitely excited to see you guys. We want to help promote your products, and who better to promote them? But what'd you say you were? Were the king of gate operator installation?
Yeah, we're the kings.
And oh, we are both the kings?
Both of us. Yeah, we're the kings.
Shit, man, that's all you had to say. All
Mhm.
right, so I'm king number one and he king number two. It goes
Yeah.
alphabetical order, just so you know.
It don't matter. There ain't no numbers.
Two kings, baby.
I'm the
Yeah,
king
so
on the
maybe we.
east.
Oh, yeah, and I'm the king of the west.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West is best and the East is the least, baby. Uh,
Yeah.
but anyways, yeah, man, we like to get up there on stage and help you guys promote your products. And the only way that you can promote your products is talk to two guys that actually install them, touch them, lick
Yeah.
them, kiss them, put them
Yeah.
in every day, and that's
That's
these
right.
two guys. So, yeah, Frank, thank you for all the support that you did, and real quick shout out to JC Guri. Thank you for everything that you did with
Yes.
the Finch University and the FWA and all that good stuff, which I volunteer for every once in a while.
Yeah. And it might, Mark, if you need a gate call, something happens, make sure you call Michael Brooks.
Yeah, I think they might have a need for some of that stuff every once in a while nowadays. But yeah, so shout out to Liftmaster. Thank you so much for letting us get in the booth. Sarah was great. She knows everything about that product, that new Technic barrier arm.
Yeah. Shout out to her. That's good job.
Yeah, man, she knew what she was doing. That shout out to Tony P for always supporting me and give me all that Lift Master swag. Definitely appreciate it. And hopefully we can train some more technicians on y'all's gate operators. Excited to do that. And the guys over at Comutello, thank you for letting me do 4 or 5 videos in your booth. Tilt away. Uh, PPA. Oh, see, I got a PPA video.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah. PPA. Um, I want to interview them because got a connection because my mom's in Brazil right now visiting my grandmother. So I definitely want to get them on board. So give me their number. I'm gonna call them.
No problem, man. Jesus was really great. So we're gonna do in my daytime endeavors over at the Finch University. I'm gonna work out to where I can get him actually here in the facility and show you guys some of the stuff on their product. It's an interesting product. It's different the way that it's actually set up with having the. I think they have a variable frequency drive in there, which is different than most of the gate operators we're used to, but they actually have a controller that you can actually put in to the from the outside to be able to say, hey, you got this photo eye, you got that photo eye, you got this remote, that remote, so on. So it's just a different concept. So and Ramset, Sophie over at Ramset and Javier over at Ramset were kind enough
Look,
to do
look.
an interview with me as well too. Um, oh, there we go. Get you some. Get you some.
That's
But
right.
they have a redesigned gate operator and looks pretty interesting. Looks similar to a DC-90. It's got a foot pedal in the front, their typical
Yeah.
big transformer on the side, and all that good stuff. Uh, Thank you for the interview. Thank you, actually, PPA, for doing one in Spanish as well too. Um, Olimax had their new barrier arm. I got a video out of that or I got a video
Yeah.
waiting to get out.
Okay.
Any of you guys want to sponsor any of those videos? Just let us know. We would appreciate it. Let's see what else. They had their new automatic barrier arm, and that thing's 18 foot with the little kit on it. You can do up to 18 foot. But here's what's cool: is it's the same board that you and I love.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's got the same board. However, you do need to go to the distributor and get the firmware updated or downloaded, updated. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're going to do it. I kind of got a vibe of both. Like if you're an authorized dealer, they're going to let you have the firmware so you can do it out in the field.
Yeah.
Um, and if not, or they don't like you, or you got funky haircut or something, you got to go to the distributor and actually get it done. So they had that. Man, there were so many people I want to hit. Anybody
Well,
want to sponsor us for next year and for the Finch
yeah.
show? Please let us know.
And
Not
I'll
too
tell you
shame.
what, for that road trip, I believe I got a song for you.
All right, let's hear it. This is going to sign us off, everybody. After an hour and 40 minutes of these two kings and gate operators, let's get a sign off song.
Don't stop me. Woo! Yeah. Where the nunchucks at? Yeah.
Nunchucks, baby. Where the nunchucks at?
I'm on the highway to hell. The highway to hell. On the
DJEvers.com.
highway to hell.
Help NAFTA.
Highway to hell. Highway to hell. Woo! Highway to hell. I'm on the highway to hell.
This is where it's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I'm on the highway to hell.
Get this boy some help.
And I'm going down all the way.
Damn. Baby, all the way down, man.
I'm on the highway to
Highway. Sing it, brother. Sing it.
But if you got Jesus, you're not going to hell.
There you go. And a lot of y'all need Jesus out there. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not a preacher haircut right there, boy.
Yeah, man.
Me and Al Sharpton go to the same place to get our haircut, boy.